Insecurity deserves a lot of attention and positive action in Anambra State. I've gone around different parts of Anambra, visited a lot of prominent Anambra citizens and residents, and interacted with a lot of the masses at the grassroots. I can clearly say that security is our #1 priority. I've visited many cities in the US and Canada recently, spoken to a number of other diasporans in other continents, the same feedback. Even common sense should tell us that the importance of security of lives and properties can be overemphasized. I did a video recently calling on the attention of the governor on this same issue. What did I get in return? Backlashing, loyalists and aides of the governor, some arranging for placards and protests instead of paying attention to my message. What even shocked me was one of the aides taking on Arise TV to announce that only roads are important as first, second, and third priority, as if nothing else is important. I do not want to reel out statistics, or I'll be scaring more people away, but we have to be able to speak truth to ourselves. Umunne, Ndi Anambra ọbụla shogodole dị ndụ tupu ekwube ihe ndị ọzọ. Beyond this, Section 14, Subsection 2B of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, clearly says that security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government, and government at all levels. Billions are devoted as security votes, again recognizing the importance. Onye chọrọ idezi obodo ga-edezi obodo. Amaghị m ihe a na-ekwu gbasara this. I want to say this to everybody. Ihe bụrụ na ị maragodo ihe a ga-eme jenu jụọ ndị mmanụ. In announcing his 5 solution pillars on his inauguration, the governor said this.
Our detailed plan rests on 5 key pillars. The first is law and order, and that is homeland peace and security. We will celebrate when security of life and property is guaranteed and law and order is restored.
Yet not much has changed. In fact, it's gotten worse, if you ask me. We're still being bedeviled by kidnapping for ransom, banditry, farmers, herders, clashes, cult and drug-related criminality, and communal disputes here and there. Some even orchestrated by government. Let me say this. The governor has fallen short squarely. Governor Soludo has clearly broken the contract with Anambra people, which are encapsulated in his governing documents from Anambra Vision 2070, a 50-year development plan, to the Soludo Solution, and then the Transition Committee in the combined report. Ndị egbugolo, ndị kidnapugolo, ndị erepugolo, bụkwanụ ndị ụmụ mmadụ, ụmụnne mmadụ, nwunye mmadụ, di mmadụ, nne na nna mmadụ. Biko, obi umeala ka anyị ga-eji lụọ ọrụ a. Obi mwute, obi mmadụ n'ibi ya ka anyị ga-eji dezi obodo. Ihe anyị ga-eme dị anyị n'aka. It is time for us to speak up and urge the government, advise the government, encourage the government, and also do our own part as citizens. Let's take the governor by his own word.
All the stakeholders must now review both the narrative and the action plan. For starters, I totally endorse the recent statement of March 7th this year by the joint body of Southeast Council of Traditional Rulers and Bishops and Archbishops on the peace and conflict resolution, requesting for a tripartite discussion between them, the presidency, and the Southeast governors to deal with the conflicts in the Southeast, especially in relation to Ndi Anambra and indigenous people of Biafra. There is no conflict that dialogue in good faith cannot resolve. Our government is determined to urgently restore peace and security in Anambra, and we will seek active collaboration and cooperation of all stakeholders.
Here, I'm not even aware of any single dialogue that has taken place. Certainly not in my local government, his local government, Agwata, not in Obaru or Ihiel or Newi, because I've made inquiries. People who should be involved in such conversation, they are not involved. A few days ago, I was even at Dora Konyele Development Center, Oka, for a security summit organized by Honorable Nigeria Henry Mbaju, who is representing Okasa 1 on the platform of Labour Party, and I didn't see any member of Governor Soludo's government in attendance, despite being invited, despite the fact that it was held in the state capital to discuss insecurity. Another task he gave himself to amend and implement Anambra State Security Trust Fund Law 2010, which an amendment law of 2018.
Which shall embark on massive training and social re-engineering to win our people off the old unproductive ways. As a humane government, we shall endeavor to offer alternative opportunities to the revenue house.
This has been done. I'm not aware of any amendment yet. Have a zero tolerance on cultism, harassment, and extortion of citizens in the market and roads of Anambra. Zero tolerance indeed. You're seeing all the mayhem going on in the markets in different places. Kita kandia bolbidolo ichobodo. Unlike what the governor is preaching. It hurts me when politicians break their promises flagrantly, because you know what? We all get tempted as being the same. Nkozo Okulu, work with the federal government on state security and provision of adequate logistics and material support to security agencies in the state. They drawn this in our security. Anambra draw her how much attention, how much resources, how much support are they getting. They will tell you that not enough attention is being paid. Provide support to traditional rulers, this is another one, and president generals to give them enhanced roles in maintaining peace and security in their communities. This is very important. However, John Digwe and the PG Hagawagi that Alumelo. Ahapun kata aganakba. What we hear, you didn't vote for me, and so I won't pay attention to you. You're not an ABGA member, so you cannot be a PG. Ndigwe should not give chieftaincy title because they haven't got approval yet from the governor. These are not the things that are important. Pay attention to these issues of security. And I'm not saying this because I want to be critical of government, because it pains me. I've been a victim of these things. Look at the performance indices on his personally assigned goals. The governor has been very tall on rhetoric and short on execution. In some cases, he's the direct cause of the disorder. For instance, even before he fully settled down as governor, he made it look like he was in conflict with vigilantes and trade unions. Last February, for instance, he publicly announced part of the problem we experience is that many of the vigilante operatives take oaths with criminals. They were infiltrated. How many of these are in charge of community vigilantes residing in their communities? What he failed to realize is that when it comes to issues of security, certain truths are better left off the public domain. What is required are firm, resolute, and sustainable decisions and actions to execute things outside of public glare, but which will enhance the well-being of the people. It is becoming crystal clear that there is no solution by Soludo to the issue of insecurity in Anambra State. It is either he thinks words alone would make insecurity go away, or he doesn't even think it deserves enough attention, which is not good enough. Umunne, kedu ihe anyị ga-eme going forward? Let's pay attention to this part. We must begin now to solve the problem even before his tenure ends next year, because I am a mother negable victims. First, we have to understand that people normally take to crime when they feel hopeless about the future. The governor has to be a source of hope in words and in deeds. To build hope, you must earn the trust of the people. Governor should speak less and do more. He should be empathetic, genuine, and humble, and come to the level of Ndi Anambra. The next is to create jobs. Jobs and jobs. Let people get busy, not only to benefit individuals, but also for community development and economic growth. Government can't do this alone, obviously. It needs to again engage the private sector, so we can put them in place, from power to infrastructure, whatever. All these things are very crucial. When we take issues of insecurity seriously, you'll see private sector wake up. This will foster a sense of purpose and belonging, reducing the motivation for criminal behavior, born out of desperation. Clearly, lack of good governance is a key contributor to criminality, and I understand this as part of governance and corporate strategy. With this, therefore, it is possible to demarcate between Ndi Anambra that turn to crime out of hopelessness and outright criminals weaned into criminality. We will then begin to take battles into the camps and hideouts and abode of the criminals. We have seen this done before under the leadership of our leader, Mr. P2B. So when I say this, I'm not talking about some unimaginary things. This has been done in Anambra State. This goes, with creating a law and order society. To achieve this, we need due process in instituting leadership at grassroots level. It's not enough to just succumb to pressure to organize local government election, for instance. We have to do that on time, transparently, and fairly. We must be able to mobilize the joint efforts of security agencies, the Nigerian police, DSS, armed forces, civil defense, vigilante services. I've devoted my time to understanding this. With these agencies, if we engage them well, pursue collaborative strategies, we must be able to cement the ideals of community policing, as it is very clear and is also very dear to my heart that a major plank of solving the security challenges Anambra State faces is through internal security, working together with Ndi Anambra at grassroots level. All the crimes we talk about, from kidnappings, lawlessness, and what have you, happen at the community level. So we must solve them at community level. We must empower them, we must equip them, we must train them. This ensures that everyone participates in the process of protecting themselves, securing their lives by themselves at their community level. The current reactive posture must give way to a bold, proactive stance that relies on more reliable information and actionable real-time intelligence for crime prevention. There should be training and retraining of members of the AVS and the security services in this direction for effective discharge of their duties. The security architecture of Anambra State must be made to work for Ndi Anambra and not exist in rhetorics. Ndi Anambra, most importantly, understand very well the imperative of regional approach to tackling insecurity in the states. It is the failure to work together and adopt a common approach that has emboldened the criminals. They jump from one state to another instead of us working together to chase them concurrently. Criminals are chased up in one state, they move to the other. And this is what I believe Governor Oti is doing in Anambra State, which is why he's succeeding, working collaboratively with his neighbors so that they can tackle insecurity head on, no matter where they find themselves. Ndi Anambra, biko ka nkwudebola. Mbọsị nta ka achụọ n'owele nchi. Onye ọbụla malụ nke ọ ga-eme biko ya bido mebie ozugbo. Ihe anyị na-ekwukwana bụ na ọ dịgo njọ ka olugo mgbe ọ ga-ejizi dị mma. Otu aka o ji dịba njọ ya dịzi anụ mma. Osite tata dịba ọ dịbụ. Onye ọbụla gbaa mbọ nke ya. Ndị nne na nna, ụmụaka nye n'aka. We need Anambra to be a better society, a better ecosystem where lives, where entrepreneurship will grow, where the youths can unleash their potential. And when we do this, we can once more be proud of Anambra State. God bless you all. Thank you.